To defy the odds, you have to risk everything and take chances. At Old Nation Brewing Company, we did just that. From an unknown startup brewery to standing alongside national craft brands in just under a decade, we remain one of the last of the large, independently owned breweries in Michigan. Our beer is respectfully brewed using only the highest quality ingredients, and we don't cut corners. With the times changing for everyone, one thing that stays the same is Old Nation's respect for great beer and the people who love it. We're growing in cans produced and fans made. When you taste our beer, you'll know why.
All right, 3 o'clock. Good to have you with us. If you're looking for Red Wings conversation, Odyssey.com Rewind, including, I think, a pretty fair question after another loss last night. But we wanted to get into a little football. Now, I'm going to try to tie two things together here, Rico, because I do think what the Bears have done is interesting. I won't include the Drew Dahlman stuff from David. What?
No, I like the Lions fan reaction. That's all.
Well, because I'm tired of irrational turds. It's okay to say that the other guys who are getting paid to play football have gotten better. Like, it's
Oh, no, I'm with you because I've always heard that. Like, so, well, next year our team's going to get better. So's everybody else.
Well, right. So, case in point, well, they overpaid for these two. They had $1 billion in cap space. The Bears today, they acquired Jonah Jackson. You hate the move? Fine. What do you got to say about Joe Thuney? First team All-Pro, didn't give up a sack in 1,100 snaps last year. And they still have $51 million in cap space.
Happiest man in Chicago, Caleb Williams.
And again, Ben Johnson doing what they did here and taking it to Chi-Town. I bring it up because, along with what the Bears have done, Max Crosby off the market. Maybe was never on it, but he's off the market. 3 years, for all intents and purposes, fully guaranteed, $105 million. So I wanted to just have fun with you for a minute. So here in this town, I think we are always told to accept Fruitios instead of Fruit Loops. The off-brand, generic, don't want to pay the freight for the real McCoy thing. And I'm already seeing it in the early portions of the offseason. Now, a week from now, free agency's here.
Right.
Meaning, players are going to get traded. Things are going to happen. You're seeing DK Metcalf on the block today. You're seeing guys who were franchised get paid 24 hours later. So I want to do player A, player B. And I want to know if this resonates. Because every Lion fan lulls themselves into this false sense of, instead of asking, what can we get? It's, we only need X. It's always this.
That's a good way of putting it.
Downplaying and going, no, we don't need to spend all our money on a real.
Like you have a budget.
Right, we don't need the Oreos. Honey, let's get the Hydrox. So here's player A, player B, the last 4 years. And I want everybody to play along, okay?
Going back to 2021.
Mm-hmm. And to me, that's a relevant time period of almost 70 football games. Right. I think that's very relevant.
Non-COVID.
COVID. I also think it allows for, hey, if a guy had some injuries, you get a nice sample size of what really are you. So player A, all right, the last 4 years has played at least 16 games all 4 years. Twice.
Durable.
Playing 17. Okay? That's durability. He has averaged 15.5 sacks over the last 4 years. 2 16-sack campaigns, 2 14-sack campaigns. So not like one wild year. Consistency. All right? 74 tackles for loss in 4 years. 117 quarterback hits in 4 years. And he's a 4-time All-Pro. You can't find any holes in that game. Fair? That's the Oreos. That's the real McCoy. That's the Rolex, not the one you buy on Canal Street.
I think I got player A. But
okay. Player B. This is the Hydrox or the Bolex. Last 4 years, 34 total games in 4 years. By season, just in case you want to know the breakdown, 16, 4, 5, 9. Those are his starts. 24.5 sacks. One problem. 10.5 came in one season. So that's 3 years with 14 total sacks, okay? 19 TFLs in 4 years. Yikes. 47 quarterback hits, and he's a 2-time Pro Bowler. Player A is going to cost you multiple premier picks. Player B might cost you a 4th round, or he's just a free agent who's pending being released. You guys want to venture guesses? Because then it's a conversation of, do you see the difference between the Oreos and the Hydrox, the Fruit Loops and the Fruitios?
Does player A wear 95 and live off the lake?
Myles Garrett.
Okay.
Player B. He's related to someone you like.
Oh.
Not Benito.
No.
Okay.
I was going to say.
Not MC Hammer.
Hassan Reddick.
No, this is Joey Bosa.
Oh.
Because the Lions have kind of been linked with him. Hey, and this is what Lion fans do. We don't need to spend all that money on Myles. We don't want to give up all the picks. In life, no, it's not always necessary to pay full price for something. But in many cases, and whether it's house, car, luxury item, food, it could be anything. There are plenty of examples where you do get what you pay for.
You don't want to go cheap on a roof.
Okay, right?
Right.
So look at the difference between the real McCoy. Yeah, you got to pay, but you're getting flawless report card. You're paying for security, right? Mm-hmm. You pay to go to sleep at night knowing I got all this. Player B, Joey Bosa, availability is brutal. The production follows right alongside. If he were perfect, if he were so sweet, wouldn't the LA Chargers keep him?
Living off a last name, living off of his legacy, living off of early in his career, and actually kind of living off of what his brother is doing. And you're thinking, oh, well, he's related. You'll get the same results.
You won't. So my point is this, just to add a layer to it. How many times is Brad going to grab the Fruitios instead of the Fruit Loops? Last year, you did the same damn thing with Marcus Davenport.
What if you take the Fruitios and put them in the Fruit Loops box?
You can repackage it whatever way you want. He did.
David, you know what I'm talking about.
Dude, he did the same thing with Carlton Davis. What did we say? He's missed at least 4 games each of the last 3 years. You know when he missed his 4 games this year? The absolute worst time of the year.
Yep.
As he finished the season on the IR. That's the difference between
the Davenports.
Right. The Fruitios or the Fruit Loops. So my question is, seeing what the Bears have done, seeing that there could potentially be a very real DK Metcalf to Green Bay thing, is it time to just pay full price? Yeah. Make a big swing, make the bold move, let's buy security. Or do you want to save a few pennies and get the knockoff brand? 248-539-9797. Because here's the difference, guys. What I would argue to you is, whatever you are saving with a Joey Bosa type, look at the seismic difference in production, in availability, in dominance. I'm sorry, but the savings are not enough to pass up the real thing. It's like when they offer you, we'll give you $50 in a handshake to take the later flight. No. How about $100? Also no. Now, at a certain point, they're going to rifle you $2,000 and a top hat. That's where people go up to the counter and go, okay, now the savings is worth the inconvenience. The Myles Garrett is worth whatever you give up based on the data.
Yeah. And let me give you a quick paradigm shift.
You're good.
Maybe not think of it as, oh, we need to find somebody to help out Aiden Hutchinson. No, at this point, Aiden is helping out Myles Garrett, bringing him here. At this point, Myles Garrett is helping Hutch take his time and really rehab and come back right. because you actually have a better player there on defensive end. So now when Hutch comes back, he's really ready. You don't have to rush him back for game one because he's your best guy on defense. Because now, even when he's back fully healthy, he's not your best guy on defense. And that's okay, people, that he's not the best guy, because you have two of the best defensive ends in football.
You'd have the best duo, Rico.
Yes.
You would, period. You'd have the best duo.
But think of it like that. Not, he's going to help. No. Right here, right now, if Myles Garrett was on this defense, he's the best guy on your defense.
So that's the point I wanted to make. Does the savings really justify passing up the real McCoy? With Max off the board, we've had no connection made between you and Micah Parsons. None. And with what the Bears have done, with what the Packers are attempting to do, this is the offseason. The neighborhood's getting tougher. So you want the Hydrox or you want the Oreos? 248-539-9797. We can get into it next. 97.1.